After the wedding, Amo hadn't got into the crowd for days. People noticed that Amo stayed in the patio with Lin Yao whenever he was free. Either Lin Yao helped Amo cut his nails or Amo helped Lin Yao comb her hair. They didn't even know how could love each other more. The women in the village were a little confused. They said, how come they love each other so much? Huagou shook his head with extreme authority. He resolutely rejected the so-called love by taking the example of animal accompanying all day. However, because Amo didn't get into the crowd, Huagou and Mingliang were always a little disturbed. The village was obviously deserted than before. Until now did they realize that it was not Amo who needed them. On the contrary, they needed Amo. Amo means a lot to them. Huagou and Mingliang could not let life be so mediocre. They did not agree. The villagers did not agree either. They called the child over and asked the child to call Amo out, saying that there was something important to discuss with him. Amo came out very late. He put his hands in the sleeves and stood in front of a large group of people. He asked in a low voice, "What?" Huagou walked up and took Amo's shoulders and patted a few times, but said nothing. Then Huagou picked up a branch and drew a few circles and a line on the ground. Huagou became serious and said, "Everyone be quiet. We have a meeting." Huagou touched on the simple map on the ground and told everyone about the road constructions in the village. Where should the highway pass? Huagou's face showed helplessness. Huagou looked at everyone and said, "We must have an opinion." Everyone did not speak, but looked at Amo together, with expectations and trust in their eyes. Amo had never received such a high-level courtesy before, rubbing his palms and pouting his lips. Huagou handed Amo a cigarette and lit it on. Amo was flattered and almost shy. Huagou said, "Amo, everyone trusts you the most. Everyone listens to whatever you say. You have to give everyone an idea." Amo squatted on the ground, thinking for a long time, and suddenly said, "Then let it pass by my house." Huagou and others looked at each other and said nothing. Finally, Huagou said, "I think it's okay." Then everyone said yes together. Amo never expected that he had decided on such an important matter ever, and he was a little astonished, and he had to run back to tell Lin Yao the good news. Huagou quickly grabbed Amo and asked with concern, "Does Sister Lin Yao treat you well?" "Yes," Amo said. Huagou said, "Talk about it." Amo lowered his head as if looking back at a happy scene, only pouting, smiling, but not answering. Huagou looked upset and said, "We're all happy for you and care about you. Even the highway passes by your house. Tell us about it, Amo." Amo looked behind and whispered, "Lin Yao exhorted me not to tell others." Mingliang took his words and said, "What did Lin Yao exhort you not to tell others?" At this question, Amo became silent, but he couldn't help it. He raised his head and felt happy, said, "Then you don't tell others." Everyone gathered around Amo and made a very solemn guarantee. So Amo began to tell, but Amo's narrative was too wordy, too branchy, and somewhat intangible. Amo and Mingliang kept interrupting him, pulling the topic to the edge of the bed and the side of the pillow. Amo's words slowly got to the point. Amo started the screen commentary on the bed like a live video of a sports game. The audience friends kept cheering with laughter and applause, so the broadcast of Amo was even more exciting. The live broadcast of Amo embellished the windy winter and enriched the spiritual life of the villagers. Due to the broadcast of Amo, the new house of Amo and Lin Yao and even the walls of the patio became useless. They became public, transparent, and wide open. People were caring about them and reciting their stories. Amo didn't know how important their marriage was to the people in the village. There was only one thing Amo can do, to keep busy at home and to keep talking outside. the village reappeared alive. Of course there was a loss. Amu didn't lose his temper anymore, which made the villagers very helpless. This greatly reduced the significance of Amu. If Amu walks without accompanies of chickens flying and dogs jumping, it is like a flower has no petals, a fox misses its tail, a crab breaks its claws, and a peacock loses its feathers. This is not okay. Huagou and Mingliang tried their best, but Amu still didn't lose his temper. It was really helpless. Huagou concluded sadly, Amu is destroyed by that woman.